So in this episode, we're going to be continuing our look at the worldwide church. In some parts of the world, Christians have faced persecution on account of their faith, just like many of the apostles. Christians have faced persecution from the earliest days of the church, such as in the persecution of the Roman Emperor Nero in the 1st century. This persecution continued to the present time, for example with Christians being persecuted in some communist countries. Sometimes, Christians face imprisonment and even violence for their beliefs, such as members of the Christian church in China. Christianity has always honoured those who have the courage to continue to proclaim their beliefs, even in the face of persecution. Many Christian martyrs are honoured as saints. A modern example is St. Maximilian Kolbe, who was sent to Auschwitz and died there because of his work providing shelter for refugees. Persecuted Christians usually tried not to resort to violence in the face of persecution, believing the willingness to suffer to be a better witness to the gospel. So Christianity has always honoured those who have the courage to continue to proclaim their beliefs even in the face of persecution, and many Christian martyrs are honoured as saints. Christians has always honoured those who have the courage to continue to proclaim their beliefs even in the face of persecution. And can we remember what are many Christian martyrs honoured as? That is, saints. Following the example and teaching of Jesus, Christians believe it is important to help those who suffer. An example of this is Tear Fund. One example of this is the work of Tear Fund, which is a Christian charity that works with some of the poorest people around the world. They explain that they try to work alongside local churches, helping people to rise out of their poverty using their own ability and determination. They have helped poor farmers in Brazil to use more efficient and sustainable methods so they can grow more food for their families. They also respond with direct aid in times of disaster, such as in war-torn Sudan, where many people experienced famine. Tear Fund says that they follow Jesus where the need is greatest. As we hear, the Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour. So can we recap some of the examples of Tear Fund's work? We know that they supplied war-torn Sudan with direct aid. They say that they follow Jesus where the need is greatest. They have helped farmers in Brazil grow more food. And what do Tear Fund say is their main guidance? Is that they decide based on what the government want. They follow Jesus where the need is greatest. They go to wherever is cheapest, or they randomly choose a place to go on a map. That's they follow Jesus where the need is greatest. In some parts of the world, Christians have faced persecution on account of their faith, just like many of the apostles. Persecuted Christians usually try not to resort to violence in the face of persecution, believing the willingness to suffer to be a better witness to the gospel. And what is the name of the Christian charity that works with some of the poorest people around the world? That's Tear Fund. That's all you need to know about the worldwide church.